We again start with another session on surface area and volume, and this time we move on to questions on frustum. I first take up this time to give you the volume of the frustum and also the surface area of the frustum. Volume, and then I take up questions on frustum. Volume of frustum is given by 1 by 3 pi r1 square plus r1 r2 plus r2 square multiplied by h. You can note it down, a couple of questions, and I think you will be able to memorize this. So this is CSA, curved surface area of frustum again. That is pi RL, so it is R1 plus R2L, and the total surface area will be this one, the curved surface area plus the circular ends. I hope you can know how a frustum would look like. That is like a bucket. The upper part is a cone which has been, it has been cut here from within. So pi R1 R2L plus pi R1 square plus pi R2 square. I assume you know about the frustum, or I can tell you here. Suppose I draw a cone. I draw it here again with a small figure so that I can show you. This is supposedly a cone. Oh, it doesn't look good though. And from here it has got sliced. Imagine, and then the part which is left over. Suppose the top part, this part is erased and cut and is taken away. You are left with this, and this is what is called as frustum. Right now I take up, based on these two, I take up the first question, which is completely the simple question of application of these two formula which we discussed. I write down the first question here. If the radii of the circular ends of a conical bucket which is 45 centimeter high, are the two radii are 28 and 7 centimeter. Find the capacity of the bucket. We have to use as big pi as 22 by 7. What is the capacity of the bucket? That's what we had noted down in the previous page, wherein we said the volume is 1 by 3 pi R1 square plus R2 square plus R1 R2 and is h. So we will simply substitute all these values. I carry this, and R1 square, that is 28 square, plus R2 square, that is 7 square, plus R1 into R2. R1 plus R2. How do we solve this? And the height is 45, right? Now if I cancel these two or I solve, what can I do? Do I change that or I can cancel? Because if I carry this 45 here, because this is equivalent to writing it like this, right? Oh, I made a mistake here or what? No. So here I can write it as, now what is 28 into 28? So it is, I need to calculate it. 28 into 28, 784. 784 plus 49, and then 28 into 7 is 196, and then the whole thing is giving me 1029. I can just remove this bracket, unnecessary, I don't know, need it. This is giving me some 15. 1029 if divided by 7 will give me 147. Now if I multiply 147 by 15 and then by 22, I get it as 48510 cubic centimeter. Okay, that's the capacity of the bucket, which is the dimensions of which are given already to us. Okay. Now I move on to another question which reads like this. Based on the same volume formula, the perimeters of the ends of a frustrum are 48 centimeter and 36 centimeter. That means the radius here are not directly given. We have to find the radius first and then we calculate the volume. If the height of frustrum be 11 centimeter, we find its volume. So we are again assuming that R1, R2 as our radius 1 and radius 2. Suppose the small one I take is 2 pi R1 is, and 2 pi R2 is equal to, this is the small one, this is the large one, so I am getting R1 will be some 48 into 7 by 2 and R2 will be 36 into 7 by, oh this is not 2, this is 22, sorry. And if I do so, what do I get if I do so? I will be getting this as 11. Let it be as 21. Why do I cancel? Let this be as it is. This is my R1, this is R2. The height is given. We have to find the volume. Volume is again 1 by 3. Pi is 22 by 7 into R1 square, that is 48 into 7 by 22 square, right? And therefore it becomes this R square and this square plus 36 into 7 by 22 whole square plus R1 R2, which is given by 48 into 7 by 22 into 36 into 7 by 22. If we solve the whole thing, you can do so by, we'll get 1554 cubic centimeter. won't be as difficult as it might just look like, because 48, 24, they will all get cancelled and be reduced. So that won't be much difficult for you to solve. I'm not getting into the solving part just to save some time and move on to another question. I take up one more question. It's another bucket question, which is a bucket is in the form of a frustum of a cone and holds 28.490 liters of water. The radii of the top and the bottom are 28 centimeter and 21 centimeter respectively. Find the height of the bucket. Let us note down for ourselves what are already given. It says volume is equal to some 28.490 liter. Okay, the one radius, this is all given in centimeter. So convert this in centimeter. For to do so, we have to multiply it by 1000. So that makes it 28490 cubic centimeter of water. There is R1 also, R1, R2 given, R1 28 given, R2 given to be 21. So we replace it in the volume formula, which is V is equal to 1 by 3. I write it as pi h this time. And then it is R1 square plus R2 square plus R1 R2. So it is 28490 equals 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into h. R1 square is again 28 square. R2 square will be 21 square plus 28 into 21. So as I did in the first question, I remember 28 square was some 784. Now 21 square I think is 441. And it is plus 28 into 21 is 588. So it is 28490 equals 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into h, and if you add all this bracket part, I get 1893. So h will be 28490 into 3 into 7 by the rest of the figure, is 22 into 1813. If you solve this, you'll get h as 15 centimeter. So h being 15 centimeter is the height of the bucket. That was not difficult at all for us to do. I hope you got that, you followed it as well, and try questions like this by yourself. Thank you.